Hi guys, welcome back. Leo McCarthy here, spiritual mentor. Um, and again, before I forget, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the channel. Um, Today, I want to talk about an amazing podcast that I found back in 2020 called A Psychic Story. And the host, her name's Nichole Bigley, and she is a psychic intuitive. And I discovered her podcast I think, back in 2020 when the world was shut down and, looking for things to do and to keep ourselves busy. She was one of the various podcasts that I found very inspirational, very authentic, and I loved her energy. Nichole brings on various guests from that practice many different modalities or have many different spiritual experiences. And I find it fascinating and always very interesting because not only is Nichole, creating a platform with her podcast, A Psychic Story, to bring in um, awareness of being psychic. And, she always asks her guests, what does it mean to be psychic? And everybody has their own opinion or interpretation of it, which is is always great because there's open for interpretation on what psychic means to everyone because everybody's psychic abilities are different, but everybody is capable of tapping into those psychic senses, those clair senses. But I love when Nichole interviews her guests that she also intuitively checks in as well during the interview, and she brings through her information that she's getting coming in from her guides that kind of fill in some of the gaps during the interview. And many times I've we've when you're listening to the guest interviews, I think anybody that's listened to the podcast, it's always cool to witness Nichole bringing in something for those guests that maybe hadn't clicked before, but are now, with Nichole's information coming in, just bringing in some new information even for the guests. And it's awesome to kind of see. So I highly recommend following Nichole's podcast, A Psychic Story, and also look for her book, Looking for Angels, that she wrote. And this is just an amazing book that if you are a person that listens to books like on Audible, you get to hear her and co-author Scott Guerin go through and read the book, and it has all kinds of information about angels, archangels, signs, and many other things to do with spirituality. So I can't recommend enough her podcast, A Psychic Story. And so, again, I'm going to be coming out with more of these podcast reviews as well as I try to be a spiritual compass to guide you on your soul's journey and come up with these resources that have been helpful for me. And I want to pay it forward to you with offering these authentic and genuine resources that I come across as well. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll talk soon.